This is the first massive train wreck under James Gunn. Does this mean DC is ruined? Will they have to reboot the whole thing after the flop this big? Either that, or the Snyder lovers are throwing a party right now because they finally got that death blow they wanted to give James Gunn. But look, here's the real question. Does a bottom plot automatically mean the movie is trash? Honestly, this movie got brutal attack from all sides. It's what it is, but it took a massive beating. Now, does that actually make it bad? This whole mess, and why the Supergirl movie completely failed, comes down to pure build-up hate. And all that hate started back with Superman. Back then, nobody could say anything about Superman without being called a Snyder lover or James Gunn hater. So, if you were annoyed by things like turning Superman into this conqueror-type guy who constantly got his ass kicked, I mean, I watched it with my mom, and even she noticed Superman looked way too weak. I mean, for God, man. Since people couldn't bend back then, they completely lost it with the Supergirl. All that hate carry over, and since Supergirl is a secondary character, they just dragged her from head to toe. To me, it's super clear. All this build-up hate from people who felt censored did what drove everyone crazy. They started attacking the movie in a way that was completely unfair. Because let's be real, the movie is not bad. It's not bad production. You want to talk about trash production, that Morbius, Madame Web. Yet they are attacking it from every single angle. Look, let's be real, about the time we live in, if you go see a movie called Supergirl, obviously gonna have some woke element. And yeah, it's in there actually, but it doesn't feel like a political propaganda. I mean, the villain is literally just a guy hunting down women to keep his evil galactic dynasty alive. That's it. That's his whole deal, period. They don't shove it in your face every 2 seconds like, oh, look at this evil oppressive male. Not at all. It's just his toxic trait. Basically a degenerate creep kidnapping young girls to continue their evil legacy in the universe. That literally is. They don't paint it like all men are evil. It's what it is, and that's it. Also, she's clearly not a perfect role model. She's basically a drunk. And that's another thing had been completely trashing her for. These whole super drunk things mostly because they couldn't complain before. Even though here it actually makes sense and they explain it well. You know, Krypton being destroyed and Karen feeling completely homeless. People just, use it that as an excuse to attack and say, nah, this is a hot garbage. She's a super drunk and whatever. Since she doesn't have that shield the Superman movie had, everything just went wrong with the hate. But going back to the woke stuff, they don't market this character like every girl needs to be just like Supergirl. They don't do that. She actually has an arc, and you realize she's a good girl who has a lot of room to grow. She isn't afraid of this perfect female icon like Wonder Woman, which honestly is a night for a shame. So, the woke stuff is there, but it's well balanced. The movie just focuses on being entertaining. Period. That's what I'm saying is a solid, normal, entertaining movie. If Supergirl considered bad, I actually agree with the people saying the superhero genre has reached its limits. People are just tired, they are sick and tired of this movie. It's sad to say, honestly, because frankly, it's very standard point A to point B movie. But it's not a bad film. I already told you what is a bad film looks like. This one gives you, those early Thor and Iron Man vibes. Just a very basic original story. Honestly, it's better an origin story than Blue Beetle. To give you an example, is the definition of average. I even say it's more enjoyable than Great New World, that Captain America movies. So, if it's better than a lot of other superhero movies, and people are still crashing it out of hate, I said the genre is just getting boring. People don't care about it anymore unless there's something else to it. For real. Now the movie definitely had its flaws. I'm not here to defend it just because. A single thing in the action scene that is totally per critic. It was way too dark and you had basically guessed. Okay, what that's a punch or what? You know, what the hell is even happening? You couldn't see anything. It reminds me of those Christopher Nolan movies where you can't tell what is going on in the fact. Another thing that is super stupid, Supergirl or Kara spent the whole time trying to protect this poor girl's soul. But then she just kills some random dude while she's trapped. Like, you can murder Soldier X, but you can't kill Kren, who's the main villain and the one you actually need to revenge on. There's a massive stupid plot hole right there in your script. You can't call it out. Yet nobody is talking about it. Why? Because they want to take the easy way out and attack it out of pure hate instead of calling it out what's actually on the screen. On the right side, there Kren, a character I absolutely hate at first just based on his looks. His looks so ridiculous, cliche, and just awful. He showed up in this Matrix-style nightclub, which is totally different from the comics. But man, the actor did such a great job that I ended up loving him. I gotta say it like it is, guys. I love the character. He made that ridiculous cliche villain look work so well that I actually liked. I won't say he's the greatest villain ever, but he was a total badass. He was just a straight out savage, doing terrible things, and you really learn to hate him in the movie. So, kudos to him. He completely froze my prejudices about the look and killed it. It's a great feeling. Also, the Greek stuff. Man, I felt so bad for that poor dog, even though it's CGI. A lot of people hated on it. But when he was dying, I really touched my heart. Just like Hannah Sackman when she remembered her family and how lonely she is. My score, a solid 10 out of 10. It's pretty entertaining movie that sits right in the middle, but it took all the heat from the people who couldn't vent about Superman, which is completely valid. Even the hate towards James Gunn replying to hater, honestly, he brought that on himself with that scene where Superman gets him in the bowl. Come on, man. Or when the movie literally opens with Crypto pinned on Superman's face, and no matter how much you try to hide that, the message is clear. I'm pissing on the fact. And well, there's your answer. When you don't have the critics protecting you anymore, you either do things right or people gonna speak in your face. That's exactly what happened to Supergirl. A project that honestly didn't deserve it, but caught up in the perfect storm of destruction. It didn't deserve it as much as the well-deserved critic for Superman, which, by the way, Superman didn't get because it was protected by the bunch of the factor. Again, the perfect equation for it not happening in that case, but it definitely is this one. Watch out of Atlanta because that's a whole different story. Watch out what's coming if they don't do it right. If they start acting arrogant like, I know it all and I can do whatever I want, just realize, James Gunn, that it doesn't work that way. People aren't gonna let it apply if you keep doing whatever you want without putting some actual care into the production. Supergirl isn't a bad movie. It's just poor on the ton of on-call for hate. Hit that subscribe button and you think this review made a sense. And what's up? I'll see you guys in the next video. And Wetex, until next time.